walking is by far the most underrated form of exercise. When you go for a run, you burn roughly 50% carbohydrate, 50% fat. But when you walk, you're burning around 70% fat. So a higher percentage of the calories burned are coming from fat. If you walk a mile, you'll burn the same calories as if you run a mile. Obviously, if you run the mile, you're going to get it done faster. And that's one of the benefits, I guess, from running, is that you'll get the work done faster. However, there is a hidden downside. If you do high intensity activity or exercise, it will often make you feel hungry afterwards. If you go for a swim, or if you go to the gym, or if you do a running training session, you're often going to feel hungry, and then you're going to want to eat more, and you're likely to eat more later on and put more calories into your body. Walking doesn't seem to do that. If anything, walking seems to blunt your appetite. See, the body runs on 3 different energy systems. You have the aerobic system, the lactate system, and the CP system, or the creatine phosphate system. And it's a continuum. And the slower you go, the more you're using the aerobic system. The aerobic system burns fat, so it's fat and oxygen. If you're somewhere in the middle, let's say you're doing a jog, you're using the lactate system, which is burning predominantly stored carbohydrates. And that's when you get that burn in the muscle, is when you get into the lactate system, because the waste product is lactic acid. Then if you do like a short sprint or something explosive, that's the creatine phosphate system. And your body is using stored ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So if you think about like a cruise ship, think about the Titanic. Imagine you've got 3 boilers. One is for slow speed. That would be the aerobic system. And that system is like an endurance system. It can just go and go and go and go. And when you're sleeping, that's what you're using. You're using the aerobic system. And then imagine the Titanic has to go a bit faster. It needs to fire up another boiler. So that would be the lactate system. And rather than just burning coal, let's say the lactate system would be coal and wood. And then if you needed to go full speed, the Titanic would fire up all 3 boilers, and the 3rd boiler would be the creatine phosphate system. To think of that as like a petrol-fired system, which overheats very quickly, but it can give you a short burst of speed. So when you go for a walk, because you're going nice and slow, you're burning predominantly fat, because you're using the aerobic system, which is highly sustainable. It doesn't stress your body out, doesn't make you hungry, and you're doing what you want to do, which is burn off fat. It's also very easy on your knees and your joints. If you need to gain weight, if you're an underweight person and you feel that you need to put on some weight and get stronger, obviously weight training and going to the gym is the best thing that you can do. But somebody like myself, I've lifted weights all my life, and I've just gained too much body weight. Because if I'm honest, when I do a weights workout, it does make me hungry. I'm ravenously hungry for about 24 hours. And you can use your willpower and your discipline to try not to eat more, to try and eat the right things, but the weight on the scales proves that it does get the better of you, and you do eat more calories. You do tend to consume more calories. And what I find is that the easiest time for me to fast or to reduce my calories is when I'm not working, when I'm not doing anything. And it's because I don't have that high intensity activity making me hungry and want to put more food in my gob. So I've started walking more. And this is one of the fantastic things about wild camping, is not only are you combining walking and all of its health benefits, you're getting the benefit of this. You're getting back to nature. You're sleeping outside, you're breathing fresh air. You're waking up in the morning with the energy of the land around you. The sun comes up, the birds start singing. Your alarm clock is the dawn chorus. And I think it's really good to be in tune with nature and to get outside and to do a camp. And also there's lots of mental benefits to walking. It's very de-stressing, and there's something about the swaying motion, the bobbing motion. It does something to your psychology. So yeah, this is my daily walk today. I'll try and get about 6,000-7,000 steps, nothing major, because I'll get the rest at work. I'm trying to average 8,000 at the moment, 8,000 a day. Then I'll push that to 10,000. And I think as my body weight comes down, I'll probably add a weighted vest then. And I've been doing this for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and my body weight is coming down. I'm losing about £1 to £2 a week.